What is up, my friends? Do I have anything in my teeth? I have embarked on yet another adventure, this time way further than before. It was a bit of a rough start, but it has been amazing so far. I want to talk about it and also share my thoughts on taking life to the next level. Let's do this! For those of you that don't know, I just left on an extended backpacking trip to Southeast Asia, and I've already experienced a couple new things. I ate my first airplane meal, which wasn't amazing, but it also wasn't horrible. It was like going to Applebee's, where you don't really want to, and the food is probably microwaved, but there's a time and a place. I learned that there's no smoking in an airplane, yet they still provide a convenient ashtray for cigarettes. And I learned that even when things don't go as expected, it's okay. Someone just knocked my GoPro off. That's what I get for trying to get footage of myself. I was setting off from Minneapolis, and I was heading towards Bali, Indonesia. I had a quick jump from Minneapolis to Detroit, and then a long flight from Detroit to Shanghai, where I got to try some dim sum for the first time. That was good. Then I was going from Shanghai right to Denpasar, Bali, but that didn't happen. My flight from Shanghai was canceled. So while I was hoping to arrive into Bali at 7 a.m. in the morning, I had to take a flight from Shanghai to Jakarta and then from Jakarta to Denpasar, which added quite a bit more to my trip. Due to my delays, I didn't get in to Denpasar until 2 in the morning, making for 48 hours of total travel time. I also learned that I can go 48 hours without Wi-Fi, and I didn't even die. I didn't even know that was humanly possible. And as if 48 hours of long travel wasn't enough, I had a little bit of a snafu when I finally arrived at the airport. I go outside to grab a taxi, and in like a lot of foreign countries, people always come up to you and ask you if you need a taxi, and they aren't actually taxi drivers. I knew this, and instead of hiring an actual taxi, I decided, I haven't done this before. Let's try something new. Bad idea. Keep in mind, I've been traveling for 48 hours. I'm on the other side of the world, and it's 2 in the morning. And I decide, yeah, this is a good idea. Let's get into a strange vehicle with a stranger. But hey, they gave me a good deal. So I tell the driver my hotel is. And we're driving, and I'm looking at the map on my phone, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we're going in the right direction. Maybe not such a bad idea after all. And then we get there. My driver pulls into this alley. According to my GPS, I'm still a little bit away from my hotel. He says, this is where I drop you off. And I said, this is sketchy. And alarms start going off in my head. He shows me that I still have to walk a little bit of a distance to get to my actual hotel. But not just like walk along the street, walk through completely pitch black alleyways. So I'm thinking one of two things are gonna happen. One, I'm gonna die. Or two, I'm gonna be that guy who leaves for a 2-month backpacking trip and loses all of his stuff on the first day because he got mugged. So I have no idea where I'm going. I convinced the driver to walk me to my hotel because, I don't know, this is a guy that I at least have known for a couple minutes, and it's a lot more comfortable than these scary alleyways that are literally completely black. So we take out our cell phones and turn on the flashlights, and we're walking down the alleyway, and we get to a T, and he's like, okay, just go down this alley and you'll be there. So he walks away, and I start wandering aimlessly by myself through dark alleyways in a different country at 2 in the morning. What could go wrong? And I finally get to where I'm supposed to be. I finally get to my hotel. I check in at 2 in the morning. I like woke this guy up, and he was so kind and so nice to actually check me in at that time. And everything was fine. Everything was great. I made it. You guys, I made it. we take risks to push ourselves to the next level, things don't always work out the way that we think they're going to. And the truth is, that is totally okay. We'll still make it through. The important thing isn't things going off without a hitch or not making any mistakes. The important thing is taking a risk to push yourself to the next level in that thing you can't stop dreaming about, in that thing you want to do, but you just don't know how, and that's holding you back. And that brings us to what I want this vlog to be about. It's about bringing ourselves to the next level. It's not about settling for what's normal or what's mediocre. It's about pushing past that and being the best version of ourselves that we can be. And the reality is, if you're living a life that you're not excited about, the only person responsible for that is you. And I know, because that was me too. Less than a year ago, I was sitting in an office job in a cubicle underneath these fluorescent lights thinking, what am I doing with my life? And it's not because I was in a bad position. I was in a really cush career at a really great job. It just wasn't what I wanted for myself. So I decided to do something a little crazy. I decided I want to start pursuing my passions rather than just pursuing what's practical. And the key to starting that isn't about knowing how to do it. I've been able to make it work for the last 9 months, but I'm still figuring this out. The reality is there is still so much I don't have figured out. I'm making a lot of mistakes as I go, but that's part of the process. Every day that I make mistakes, I learn from them, and that pushes me closer to the person who I want to be. And it didn't just happen overnight. There was a lot of planning that went into this, and I had a rough idea of what I was doing, but I still had so much to figure out. So here it is. Here's to living a life inspired, a life full of adventure, and a life pursuing the destiny of who you were created to be. That's it for today, everyone. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.